Sometimes we're blue, so give us something to do. Show me to us, Rachel.
Welcome to Show Me to Us, Rachel. I'm Nate.
And I'm Sam.
And we're
Neurodivergent. Which means that we need to fill our time with hyperfixations to show us more about ourselves.
And to help us do that, every week we bring in a Rachel of the Week to show us a new hobby or obsession that we know absolutely nothing about. Then we take a week and we try it ourselves.
This week, our guest is Katy Campbell. What's up, Katy?
Hey, I'm Rachel for the week.
What's up?
Wow.
Rachel,
We're longtime
Katy?
fans of Katy Campbell.
Yeah.
We all, Katy and I met, like 20,000 years ago.
You guys
Yeah, it was
and we've
probably
done
like,
20,000 shows together.
The first one was probably like 4 BC. And then we just kind of like...
Before Katy misspelled.
And we've just kind of been around ever since.
I met the two of them and when I did a show.
You're doing it. You
I
got it.
did a musical. Katy played opposite me, and Nate understudied me, and that we were best friends.
Best friends.
Yeah, very memorable, apparently. Well, so Katy, we could gab all day, but what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about a fun little hyperfixation of mine, which is Formula One race car driving.
Oh,
Yes.
Obviously.
and I didn't know you were into this.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't know.
I will preface, I'm not an expert, and I'm a new fan. So,
Oh, well, that's not the point of this podcast. Don't
Okay,
even worry
any
about it.
experts listening, turn me off.
I will.
But-
Yeah, this is something I've been telling our guests lately because I've been hearing that. I was like, this is not a podcast for experts to come on. It's a
Like, I
podcast for
just
people
like
who are
it.
into things to come on.
Yeah,
like-
I was literally telling my mom about this the other day too. Like it's more like we're connecting. It's like we're connecting with people about things we didn't know about them, and then like how do we get into it? So it's not even hey, you're fine.
Hey.
Thank you. But like, for instance, I slept through this morning's race. So I am a fan, but sometimes I sleep through races. And that's because Formula One is international. And so the race times are whenever it is 2 p.m. in the country that they're happening. So today's race was in Austria, which was 8 a.m. our time. And I was like, I'm not going to do that on a Sunday morning to myself.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to this later. We have a plan for how we're gonna do it, also a little bit. But you can tell us more. But we have something scheduled. We'll tell you more.
It's on my,
but
it's on my calendar.
Yeah, on Sam's calendar, which is apparently still no guarantee.
It is a guarantee. Unless it's before 10 a.m. on a Sunday, then I struggle.
Which it is.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do my best.
So Katy. How did you get into this?
Okay,
give us the breakdown. Like what even is this also?
Yeah, picture me this. It was
It
was 2020, and I was working at a gym and a coffee shop. At the gym, I was just working at the front desk. And so one morning, it's like 5:30, I'm working front desk at the gym, and somebody comes in and starts talking to me about this show they've been watching called Drive to Survive. And they're like, it's a docuseries about Formula One. At that point, I literally had never even heard of Formula One. I was like, I do not know what that is.
Yeah.
And they were like, you should watch this docuseries. And I was like, that absolutely sounds like something that would not interest me. I don't like men's sports. I don't like cars. That does not sound like something that I would care about.
Yeah, right.
And then later that day, I had a podcast I listened to recommended it. And I was like, that's crazy. I thought I trusted you guys to not like men in cars. And then by the end of the day, my boyfriend was like, hey, I watched the first episode of this docuseries and I'm not going to watch any more because you and I have to watch it together. It's so good. Ooh. And I was like, I'm pissed. I don't want to care about boys in cars. That sounds so dumb.
Yeah.
But this docuseries, Drive to Survive, it came out in 2020. It was their first season. I think now they're on like season 5, 6. And it just like follows the drivers throughout the season and the teams. And what's so good about the series is that it follows the politics behind the races in such a way that like you can really get into like what goes into like the team principals, the drivers, why they make like the decisions they make, because it does seem really simple. They're just driving around these tracks. However, there's so much strategy that goes into it because of the different tires they use. So it really follows that. It takes you into like that strategy. What's also really interesting about the show is that they just kind of drop you in. Like, they assume you have a lot of information about it. And so to keep up, I started doing lots of research. I was like, I have no idea what they're talking about when they're saying these words. And I'm just like researching as we're watching, just so I can try and keep up. And then by the end of the season, we were like, well, we need to watch races live next year. And at that point, there was no way to watch races live unless you had a subscription to Sky Sports. Through ESPN.
Sky Sports. What is that?
Sports.
They're not in the sky, though. They're on the ground.
That's a good question. What is Sky Sports? I think it's like a UK, like ESPN, I think.
Interesting.
they just always, they're like, oh yeah, turn on Sky Sports. But
interesting.
I was like, I'm not paying $70 a month for Sky Sports. So I was deep in the Reddit threads about like watching them illegally. I would pirate races. But now this year, it's so easy to watch them because Apple TV bought the rights to Formula 1.
I have seen ads for racing.
Because they like, Apple TV produced the Brad Pitt movie last year, and then they bought the rights to the races. So now you can watch the races live on Apple TV. You can also watch replays on Apple TV, which is huge, because previously there was no way to watch replays. Like, if I missed a race, I would just go watch the like 15-minute YouTube compilation of like the interesting things that happened during that race. But now you can just like go back and rewatch them. And it seems really, so you're like, how could I sit down and watch 2 hours of these people going around this race or like going around this track? But suddenly you turn it on and then it's 2 hours later and you're like, wow, that was thrilling.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like one of those sports that if you know the intricacies, then it's a lot more exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of intricacies, speaking of intricacies, so what are the literal rules?
Okay, yeah.
Like, how does this work?
Thank you for asking.
Good question. I don't know if I know either.
So
what is it?
What happens? There are 24 Grand Prix in a year, which is like the race. This year, I think there's less because they canceled all the Middle Eastern ones for obvious reasons. Yeah,
what's going on over there?
And there are, this year actually is new. There used to be 10 teams. Each team had 2 drivers. There are 20 drivers. This year they added, I believe it was Cadillac. So now there's 11 teams and 22 drivers. And each team is like a car brand. So we have like Mercedes, Red Bull, Alpine. Oh, let's see if I can list them all. Okay, Mercedes, Red Bull, Alpine. Yeah, Alpine, but they're all British. So
Alpine sounds like the French way to say the penis.
Wait, is it actually Alpine?
Honestly, I've never heard anyone say Alpine. But like they're all, they're all European. So I just say it's Alpine. Then we have Aston Martin, Ferrari, Cadillac, Audi, Racing Bulls, which is like Red Bull's B team, and then oh my god, I'm missing.
Wait, that's awesome.
Wow.
8. Now, what are the other teams? I'm so embarrassed.
Well, you got Audi. There's Annie. There's
obviously Haas. Oh, and McLaren. I can't believe I forgot McLaren.
Huh. They're all car brands. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wait,
and those are considered the like constructors. So they construct the cars. So you have like the constructors.
Oh, okay.
However, not every car brand builds their own engine. So that is kind of part of like what's interesting about it is that some, like, for instance, like the Aston Martin uses a Honda engine, but like the Cadillacs use a Ferrari engine. The Haas uses Ferrari. McLaren uses Mercedes engine. Mercedes obviously uses Mercedes.
Is it like a smaller group of companies that make the engines or something?
Yeah. For a while, the Red Bull and Racing Bull teams were using, was it Honda
Pepsi engines?
And they were doing really, really well, but I don't think they're using those engines anymore. So it's like it is like kind of an indicator of how a car is going to do. Like if a McLaren who's using a Mercedes engine is doing really well, you can bet the Mercedes are probably also going to be doing pretty well.
Right.
Like the cars are built within a certain like specs. They have to like weigh a certain amount. They have to like.
Oh, okay.
There's certain things that like have to be true for each car, but they can like change things. It's different than IndyCar, which I believe IndyCar, they all have the exact same car. So it's more about the driving. Formula One is like all the cars are different. They're all constructed differently. And so it's about not only the drivers, but it's about the team who built the car.
Right.
So when they're like, oh, we won the world championship, it really does feel more like a team sport. It's like, yeah, a crew of hundreds of people built that car that was able to win the championship.
Wait, that's so fast. So is it its weight? Is it like what can they vary?
Obviously the engines, they can vary some of the like way the body is shaped. So McLaren last year was like made a bullet. Like they made a rocket of a car, and it's because of the shape of like the wings on the car.
Whoa.
They tried something new. However, it's a little controversial, and they ended up having to like change it a little bit later in the season.
Oh.
But there's lots of different things that like they can vary. But then there's always things they check. Like sometimes cars get like you will win a race, and then they'll be like, oh, never mind, we had to DQ them because there's a board on the bottom of the car, and they measure it at the end of the race because the lower you are, the faster you can get, and if that board touches the like pavement too much, it like shaves off a lot.
Oh, and then you lose weight.
Yes, and you lose weight, and so they will measure it at the end, and they'll be like, "Uh-oh, you shaved off too much. That means that like your car was too low. You're disqualified."
Whoa.
Oh, it's like I don't know, like a water tamper test in like a phone or something where they're like, you tamper with the phone. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's similar to like football when like wasn't there a scandal where somebody was like deflating footballs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. So you'd be like careful about your build. But what is so at every race, all 22 drivers get out there.
Okay.
Only the way it becomes a sport throughout the season is the top 10 places get points. And those points count both towards your team and your individual. So at the end of every season, there's like a racing champion and the constructors champion.
Oh, that's
sometimes
fun.
It's like, so at the end of last season, our racing champion was Lando Norris, who races for McLaren, and then our team champion was McLaren. So like McLaren cleaned field.
Wow.
But like there was a few seasons ago where like Mercedes, this was like probably one of the most insane seasons, was I think it was 2022. It was big rivalry between Mercedes and Red Bull, and Mercedes ended up winning constructors, and Max Verstoppin, who's the driver for Red Bull, won the racing championship in a very controversial way. He didn't deserve it. It was bad.
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah, we'll circle back. Yeah,
to the 2022 season.
We have a segment for that.
So
we literally have a segment for that.
So the first place gets 25 points. Each place following gets like a descending order. I think second place is like 18 points. It
How
just
many
kind of
laps?
goes down from there. It depends. Some of the it's like that's the thing. Every race is in a different place around the world, which is again why they're in weird times. Like what sucks about Formula One as an American is they almost always start in Melbourne, and so that first race of the season's at like 3 a.m. our time.
3 a.m.
Like
or something.
it is like impossible to watch.
My kind of hour.
Yeah. Not mine.
Yeah.
And so they go, let's see, like this season, let's see where they are at. There are, so we do Australian, Chinese, Japanese, Miami, Canada, Monaco, Barcelona, Austria, which was today, British, Belgian, Hungarian, Dutch, Italian, Spanish, Azerbaijan, Singapore, United States, which I think that one's just Austin, Texas, Mexico City, Sao Paulo, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Obviously, Qatar and Abu Dhabi were canceled.
Wow, that's crazy.
But there's 20 races this year. Yeah. And so they just kind of go around. So it is, again, super against my personal ethics because it is like private jet crazy. Like they have to ship these cars.
Yeah.
It is horrible for the environment. If you
of course, like they're massive cars and they have to race the same ones.
It's massive cars that they're like shipping all the way across the world. So it's like not only the cars, but like the airplanes that they're taking everywhere. Really bad. The thing about the cars is they are trying to make them more eco-friendly. Like if you watch races from like the 80s and the races now, the cars now
but they're like smog.
Well, but like the cars now are so much quieter because they are all like running a lot more like electric. I don't know if they're fully on electric engines, but it's a lot. Wow. It's a lot quieter than it used to be. Like if you watch any of like Schumacher's races from back in the day, like they're crazy loud, and now they're not that loud.
Interesting.
But the cars are also bigger. It's
So how long do the races actually like last usually?
Usually about, they like block out like 2 hours. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more if there's a rain delay. Rain is what makes it super interesting because obviously cars and rain, and like rain can really mess up somebody's strategy because there are certain tires you want to be on in the rain. And they have 3 kinds of tires. They have soft, medium, and hard tires. And then they have their intermediate tires, which is for when it's raining. But like your soft tires are your fastest tires. So when somebody gets on soft tires, you're like, oh, they're about to rip it. However, those soft tires don't last very long. So they'll have to go back into the pit to get new tires sooner.
Do you know what makes soft ones fast?
I actually don't. It is interesting. If you if you look up the tires after the race, like they're fucked up. Like the tires, because they get hot, they get melty, like pieces of them are just flying everywhere.
How fast are they going? Like 200 miles an hour or something?
Oh, it's not all the way up to 200, but it's always in kilometers. So, it is like 200 kilometers an hour, but it also depends, like, if there's a straightaway, like, it's not like NASCAR where they're just going in an oval. All of these tracks are like very crazy shapes. Yeah. And that's why the number of laps changes, because some of them are they're like, oh, well, this one is, 3 kilometers, which means they're going to do 70 laps. And sometimes they're like, well, this one is 6 kilometers, so they're only going to be doing 40 laps. But I think the number of laps varies from in the low 50s to the high 70s, just depending on the track.
Wow, I can't even count that high. I'm betting the tires have to do. This is just a guess, but I'm wondering if it's because it's softer. It makes more contact with the ground.
Maybe.
And therefore more speed.
Probably.
Oh, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
we're gonna buy that and never look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. But and so another part of it being a team sport is yes, there's a driver, but when they call them into box, which is we want you to come into the pit, say box, 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 box. Box, box. They bring them into the pit and they have their whole pit team, and the pit team needs to get the 4 tires off, the 4 tires on as fast as possible. And watching those pit changes is crazy because it can be I think McLaren last year did the fastest ever pit tire change, and it was I'm gonna butcher this. It's 2.3 seconds maybe. It is.
That's insane.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Those 2 seconds.
If you watch videos, they'll have cameras up above, and you'll just see the car come in, and you'll see the guys. It is insane how fast they can change those tires.
Holy shit!
I love it. That is my favorite part of the race is watching the pit crew. It is so cool.
Yeah, and I bet they're all coming in different barely different times. So they're just okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's if you've ever seen clips of those, they're so organized. It's awesome.
Okay, I lied. This is gonna piss you off. The all-time Formula One pit world stop is 1.8 seconds, set by McLaren in 2023. Yeah.
That's one done.
Because they still have to do the fucking bolts. What do you secure a tire with?
They gotta keep them on. They can't fall off.
Right. Well, and they also they do have to refuel them often too at pit stops because again with the weight they can't carry a lot of fuel. So they have to refuel.
They got
sometimes
a fire
the people
hose.
Oh my people hit things, and so they have to replace parts of the car really fast, the front wing. Sometimes they have to take off and replace.
God. Yeah, wait, do they hit each other?
Sometimes, yeah, and it's genuinely really scary. At first, I was this would kind of be fun if they crash, and then you're watching and you're oh, they're going so fast. Many people have died. Someone in another thing is there's the way people get into Formula One is they start with F3 and then they move up to F2 and then F1. But there was a driver in I think F2 a couple of years ago who died on a track. It was
I think I've seen clips from that on TikTok actually.
It was pretty scary.
I saw clips of this guy dying.
I've saw
that's TikTok.
Of the aftermath where the guy who hit him apparently felt really bad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wait, so wait. I keep having so many questions. So F3, F2, F1, is that different speeds or is that different types of cars? Or is it just minor leagues, major leagues?
I think it's minor leagues, major leagues. There's junior Formula One for kids under a certain age, but even that doesn't count because one of the drivers in F1 this year who's doing really well, Kimi Antonelli, he drives for Mercedes and he's 19 years old. Wow. He is a baby and he's just
also cool
driving
name.
these cars. Yeah, Kimi Antonelli.
I want to see F 30 and it's box cars made of cardboard.
I think the cars are slightly different.
Yeah, it's Flintstone cars.
In like, yeah, I think from F3, F2, I think the cars are slightly different, but I don't know how much different. But it is often how teams are like, oh, we're going to gauge if we want to move you up to Formula One. Because again, like there's only 22 places. And so the contracting of drivers is really interesting. Of like, okay, who are you going to take on? Who are you going to let go?
Is there like a draft and stuff too?
Kind of. It kind of just takes place throughout the entire season.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, interesting.
There was a driver, Lewis Hamilton. He's my guy. He was with Mercedes for really, really like his entire career.
Yeah.
From like F3 all the way up. He won them, I think, 7 world championships. Wow. And then after a couple of years, after his final world championship, he raced one more year with them and then didn't win. And he moved to Ferrari, which was like a crazy move because he's now, I think, 41. He's like older for a driver. He's still one of the best.
That's really old, yeah.
But like he moving to Formula One or moving to Ferrari, like before people thought he was like, the people were like, oh, he'll probably race for a few more years and then he'll retire. But moving to a different team was like insane. But he was like, it's Ferrari. It's iconic. Like if they offer me a contract, what am I going to do? Turn Ferrari down? Like I want to be in the red, jumpsuit. And I was like, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, cool. And it's like, it's pretty hard on your body, isn't it?
Oh my God. Yeah. Like these guys have to work out crazy. And a lot of the workouts you see them doing is like placing a band behind their head and doing like neck workouts because the G-forces on their neck are so
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you'll see them like they have like a weight strapped to their head. They're like laying face down and they're just like lifting their neck up. Yes. They're like strengthening all their neck muscles. It's crazy.
That's so crazy. And they're holding a steering wheel.
Right.
Aren't they in like a pretty snug little
What
cage?
is kind of nice about it is like now there's so much like so many video games and stuff that they can do like sim racing. Like Max Verstoppin, who I don't like as a driver. I think he's an asshole, but he is a world champion. He won, I think, 2, maybe 3 world championships racing for Red Bull. He does so much sim racing. Like that is probably like why he's so good. Like he could probably close his eyes and like get through a track because he knows them so well because he's doing them virtually all the time.
Who's the kid from the movie? There was like a whole movie about a real kid who like got really good at a specific sim that like they like put him in an actual car and he was really good or something.
I don't think that was Formula One. It was because that was Gran Turismo, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think that was some other racing.
Yeah,
that wasn't Formula One.
Okay. Man, this is so great. I literally thought, and I hope I'm not the only person that's listening that thought this, but I literally thought Formula One was just the straight drag race.
Oh, drag racing?
I thought it was drag race. And so you started talking about it, I was like, oh, whoa.
Like, oh my God. Okay, but like, for instance, in one of the Iron Mans, he's like in Monaco. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait,
there's
no.
like, okay, well, there's like,
Iron Man 2. Yeah.
Yes,
I thought you meant like
the movie.
You were talking. So Katie runs 20 marathons a year. I thought when Katie said marathon, she meant like a triathlon Iron Man thing. I was thinking that. Katie, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Iron Man, the superhero, and Iron Man 2.
No, I know a lot about that.
He's in Monaco, and
yes.
Like in Monaco, he's there watching one of the Formula One races.
Right.
Oh, that's okay. Got it. And the Whiplash comes out, and he's like,
yeah. That Monaco Formula One race is like one of the most iconic, because it is through the streets of Monaco, and like rich people just sit on yachts and watch it run through the streets. But that race is now actually like one of the most boring to watch because back in the day, back when Formula One started, the cars were a lot smaller, so they were able to pass each other more on those like really narrow streets. But now, like, the cars are too big, so they can't really pass. And so it's not really interesting to watch because, other thing I should say, Formula One is like it's like a 3-day affair. They start on Thursday, maybe even Wednesday, and they do 3 practice sessions so every driver can get out on the track and, like, practice the track. Then they do qualifying, and during qualifying, they have a certain amount of time to get, like, a flying lap. And then from there, that determines the starting grid for the race. So whoever has the fastest lap is in pole position and first position, and then they just move back to 22.
I guess it's probably for safety too, right?
Yeah, right. And the way qualifying works too is they do 3 rounds. So it's like your first round, everybody goes out, and then the top 15 get to go again, and then the top 10 get to go again. So really, it's like so it's like the fastest lap of all 3 of those rounds if you make it to that 3rd round. Some people are like, oh, I got to try like 2 laps and I wasn't fast, so I'm 18th on the grid. Which happens. There's a lot of teams that are just kind of like middling, and that's hard. Like some seasons, there's a car that is so dominant that the only interesting thing are the teams that are in like 5th and 6th place. But this season's shaping up to be really interesting because Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari and McLaren all have really good cars, and they keep like trading who's winning. And that's really fun to like watch and be like, okay, there's no definitive lead. It's when a definitive lead happens that you're like, okay, well, obviously Max is going to win again, so let's pay attention to something else.
Does that usually have to do with the engineering or the driver or both?
Usually the engineering. It's like, well, I say that, but then like there were, maybe it was 2023 or 2024, Max Verstoppin was so dominant in his car that it was like, they wouldn't even show him on the broadcast. They would be like, okay, and Max Verstappen he took off, so now let's pay attention to who's competing for like 3rd and 4th place because he's all the way up there. Wow. But then like, I would say it's the car, but then like the other driver on his team, Checo at the time, was doing so poorly. Like he was fighting to even get in 10th place for points. Wow. So it's kind of like, it may have been the car.
So that's got to be the driver, right?
It's like, is the driver, but that's the hard thing is like, some teams say like, okay, this is our number 1 driver and this is our number 2 driver. Some teams are like, oh, our drivers are equal. We let them race. We let them have at it. That's how Mercedes is this season.
That's cool.
With like Red Bull, they're always like, Max is our number 1 driver and our number 2 driver just kind of has to figure it out. So that like number 2 driving spot for Red Bull is like kind of fucked up because they have this car built specifically for Max and his preferences. Wow. And no one else can really figure it out. Like last season, I think they went through 3 number 2 drivers. They started the season with somebody and then they were like, he's not doing well. So they fired him. They brought in another person. I think they like flipped people like 3 times. And then now they have somebody, I don't even know who their number 2 is now because I just don't think they're doing well. Like nobody can drive the car they have specifically tuned for Max. It's really interesting. Wow. Yeah.
I was gonna ask. We said we were gonna loop back to this. So we love hearing about like drama in the communities of all of these different hobbies.
The controversy.
Yes. So what was you were talking about one that we said we were gonna circle back to. Like what's like the drama?
Yeah. So in the form, and I think it was the 2022 season. If you're listening and I'm wrong, don't correct me. Well,
they can't. This is your time.
They can't. They fucking can't.
They can't. This was the first time I was watching races. It was the first time I was watching races live. So it was very interesting. But by this point, Lewis Hamilton, who was driving at the time for Mercedes, had won 7 world championships, and he was going for his 8th. Okay. Then there was Max Verstappen, who had never won a world championship. He was racing for Red Bull. And the 2 of them were like flipping places the entire season. And it got pretty bad. Like, this was when I realized that I loved Lewis Hamilton so much. There was a point in the season where I think it was in Brazil, they had a really bad crash between the 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And it was like really scary. They both were like out for the rest of the race. They couldn't finish. Whoa. And the first thing Lewis said when they like called him to be like, are you okay? He was like, I'm fine. Is Max okay? And I was like, oh,
That's love the clip I've seen.
Yes. The first thing Max said was they were like, Max, are you okay? And he goes, I'm fine. What a fucking asshole. And he was like cursing. He was cursing out Lewis. And I was like, screw you. You're a bad man. Lewis is only concerned for your safety. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the entire season, they were flipping back and forth. It got to the final race and they were tied in points. And so it was whoever won that final race was going to win the season, which typically doesn't happen. Like, normally you will have like 3 races out and you'll be like, oh, we already know who the champion is. Like the next season, I think they celebrated, they were like, oh, there's no way anyone else could win because Max was so far ahead in like 2023 that it was like, they crowned him the champion at like I think there were like 5 races left. They were like, well, and he's going to win, so we'll just give him this now. Last season it was interesting. It was like the guy who won, they were by the final race, they were like, he just needs to get third place in the final race in order to get enough points to win. And like he did. Right. He finished in third place, which is kind of anticlimactic to be like, okay, you got third place in the final race, but you won the whole season.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so this season between Max and Lewis, it was the final race. They were tied. And I remember because Alex and I, it was like a 7 a.m. race, and we had made t-shirts the night before, like for Lewis Hamilton, so we could sit in our apartment watching it. Not even like we were going to a bar or anything. Like we were like, we had brunch ready. I know, it was really fun. We were like, we're going to watch Lewis win. It's going to be amazing. And if I'm remembering correctly, what happened was they got to, I think like the final lap, Lewis was definitively ahead, and there was a safety car, which means somebody had crashed or like there was some debris. And so when there's a safety car, everybody has to slow down. You can't switch places in safety cars. You have to, you're just kind of doing a lap really slow while they like figure out what's going on the track.
Oh, I see.
And
okay.
By this point in the race, later in the race, the slower cars have been lapped. So like how the actually looked on the grid was there was Lewis, 2 lapped cars, and then Max, because Max was in second place. And what they decided, the FIA, the like committee was like, oh, we can let Max pass those lapped cars so that the final lap will be a like head-to-head race between Lewis and Max.
Oh man.
Shit.
So really the entire championship they decided was going to be determined by this last lap race, which they usually never do for safety cars. They should not have let him go ahead of those 2 lapped cars. Because then they were essentially being like, screw you, Lewis.
There's like content. Like, this is great. Because
Max was on newer tires. Lewis was on older, hard tires, and Max was on new soft tires. And so, because he was on new soft tires and they let him pass these lapped cars, they then they're like, okay, go again. You know, safety car's over, you can go. And Lewis fought as well as he could, but like, it is devastating to watch because then Max just passes him right at the last minute and wins the world championship. And it's still controversial to this day. Like people will say, be like, okay, yeah, like Lewis won 7 world championships, but really it should have been 8. Because the FIA, you know, like they almost like changed rules to make that last lap more interesting to let
literally.
Yeah.
That's annoying. I'd be pissed if I was Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, and he should be. It's pretty devastating.
Quick side note on the tires, I did Google it. Their pliable rubber compounds conform closely to the track surface's microscopic gaps. So I was right. Softer tires, more contact with the ground.
More tire on road.
Yeah.
More tire on road, go faster.
More tire, go fast.
More tire, go fast. That's the same reason spoilers make cars go faster. Because the air pushes it down, hits ground. Science faster, go.
Wow.
Science faster, go. Big tire.
Big tire,
fast.
drive, gas. I have all the thoughts, just not all the words.
Okay, well, you kind of mentioned like your favorite thing as like being like these pit changes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
What's like? What do you really not like about Formula?
Yeah.
Like what do you hate?
I always like this part.
Mostly Max Verstappen. I hate that guy.
Yeah, fuck Max
hate him
Verstappen.
So much.
Max, if you're listening,
Max, get fucked. I just think he's a bad guy.
But also, Max, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. If you could share this around, that'd be really fantastic for us in our marketing.
When someone says that they're a Max fan, I like assume that they voted for Trump. You know, like that's how I feel. I'm like, oh, you're a bad person. You're a really bad person.
That's awesome. That's good that we know that now, so we don't talk about him. Can you imagine, like, we didn't know about the drama and we, like, watch one next week and we're like, oh, yeah, like, I like this Max guy.
So well.
Is he popular?
I also, like, what I will say is I still don't love men's sports and I still don't love cars. So what I hate about this is how much I love it.
Yeah.
Like, it is, like, kind of embarrassing, but it's so fun. And what I do hate about it is that it is really hard for women to break into. They have like what they call their W series, which I'm like, okay.
Already dumbly qualifying it. Yeah.
Yeah, but they that is not like, I genuinely don't know a single thing about the W series because they don't really broadcast them. Like, I don't really know how those races are run. I don't know how similar it is to Formula One. There are like very few women involved in the F1 world. And every once in a while, they try and bring somebody. They brought in, what's her name? They brought in this woman to like be an announcer last year, but she is like also like a bad person. What is her name? Like, she's like a NASCAR. She was a NASCAR woman. I can't remember. And people were pissed. And like anyway, she got fired because I was like, okay, you brought in a woman, but you had to bring in like a bad one. Really? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just did it to be like, see, we can't hire women. They're bad.
Yeah, like, look, women can be bad too.
Classic Kamala situation.
Yeah.
This is when all our viewers find out we're political.
This is actually
like,
a political
fuck, we thought they voted for Trump.
Yes. Chris, I'm sorry to break it to you.
Yeah, our one Chris. Okay,
Our
so
one Chris.
so our one Chris. So, well, I mean, so let me tell you what we had in mind, and you tell us if you think this is like a good thing to do.
We're gonna
We're
watch.
gonna wake up in the morning and watch the race next Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that what? Do you know which one it is?
Next week?
I know. There.
let me look at
We
the
saw that
schedule.
there was one, and we were like, oh, we should just watch that.
Oh,
Is that like what we
perfect.
should do?
Yes. Okay. Next week is the British Grand Prix. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably Spa. That's a fun one.
Cool.
Yes, and it probably will be interesting because it's British, so there's most likely going to be rain, which always makes it more interesting.
Oh, cool.
So I would watch it. I'd maybe also watch a couple episodes of the recent Drive to Survive season just to get some context.
I did write that down, yeah.
Yeah. I would
Okay,
I would
cool.
say the most recent season. You don't need to go back and watch like any of the early seasons because most of those drivers aren't even on the grid anymore. But like you'll
Good
get
to
some
know.
context if you watch a couple of like the most recent ones.
Yeah, because you said that it all like drops you right in, so it doesn't even matter to watch previous seasons anyway.
And a lot of the episodes, if I'm honest, they're like often is like an overarching storyline of the season of that docuseries. But there are some episodes that they're like, okay, and we're just following one team for several races. And so it's like more self-contained.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Well, damn.
Sick.
Yeah. But watch the race. It's fun.
Yeah.
You'll have a fun time.
Ah.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm assuming we're close to time, Mr. Nate.
Yeah, we're about at time. But Sam, why don't you take us out?
Well, we don't have time for a oh shit.
What?
We just got a notification that call ends. Okay, that says 15 minutes.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
We don't have time. Do we have time for a Rachel take the wheel?
Oh yeah. Do you, I don't know if Katie has one.
What?
I don't
Do you
think Katie
have-
has one.
Any last things you want to say or do, or just put us on?
Yeah. Any
to-
final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Just pay attention to those pit stops. Watch those freaking pit stops.
Okay,
They
okay.
rock.
Pit stops.
Oh, and one other thing. Decide who you think is sexiest on the grid. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
They do all
Okay.
have
What-
sexy names, I will say.
They do. And the thing is like, I think I'm a believer that most of these men are only sexy because they're race car drivers.
Sure.
And there
Well, they're
are
rich,
like
too.
3 that I'm like, those 3 are really actually sexy. So I would love to hear which
Wow.
ones you guys think are
It
good
does
looking.
make it easier to be sexy when you're rich too, and they're athletes. Like they got
Right, when you like have a Rolex and like a $900 haircut, like
that,
obviously.
that's a sexy name.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell
I'm just
yeah.
getting so horny thinking about those
Just
Rolexes.
think about the men racing cars. I hate them. Their sexy arms and necks. Their muscular racer necks.
I'm like biting my fist. I'm like,
All right, well,
Okay, well-
Katie, to lead us out, I'm doing this now. Usually Nate does it. Give us your best sound when you of what.
and this is why Nick does it.
when you hear the first sound that comes to mind when you hear the word time warp.
We woke up so early.
Oh, dude, I was actually like sick the rest of the day. I felt so
Yeah. Oh my
bad
God.
after you
Well,
guys left.
so first of all, I thought the race started at 7 a.m. on Sunday. We watched the British Grand Prix, only on Apple TV. And it's actually, I think it actually is only on Apple TV. And
This was, by the way, the Sunday after July 4th.
yeah, insane.
This was morning of
and
July
so
5th.
we woke up. I went over there. Shane and I went over to Sam's place to watch this. We get there, and on on the drive there, I realized that the race actually doesn't start till 9.
He realized this after he started like giving me shit because I couldn't find where to watch it. And he was like, "Sam, come on, dude, you have one job." And then he's like, "Wait, Sam."
I was like, "Sam,
it's not for
Sam,
like another hour.
I'm gonna eat crow right now." It's not for another. Yeah, insane. So we get there, but hey, we hung out. We had some coffee. We had some donuts, and then they actually started the pre-race coverage like an hour before.
I am glad we got to see a lot of that too, because we got to see some of them talk and like hear about the like backstories and drama and what's going on in the like quote unquote season, which I don't think they call it a season. I don't know what they call it.
I think it's the season. Yeah. First of all, also, shout out to Katy Campbell, our guest from part 1. There is a commentator. I'm trying to find her name right now. Looks almost exactly
looks so
like
her, yeah.
Katy.
She popped up and I was like, "Nate, that looks just like Katy." And you're like, "It looks just like Katy." And then he took a picture and he sent it to Katy.
Oh yeah. She was like stop or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, it's like the main. It's like their main female commentator, or at least the one that was at the British Grand Prix. So
commentator, yeah.
I'll find it at some point.
Right.
Yeah, man, crazy. But anyway, so we watched the But what about the pre stuff, Sam? What kind of stuff did we find out?
Well, we first watched just an interview that was separate from the pre-game that we were able to find. That was like the day before it, I think. And it was just with the top 3 racers, the top 3 that qualified. So for East race, for context, and I think we said this in part 1, but you have to do a qualifier so everyone gets a chance to run the track on their own. And then depending on how you do in the qualifier is where you start the race, the actual day of the race. So they just interviewed the top 3 qualifiers, which was I can't remember the names. One was
one was
qualified like
Leclerc. It was Leclerc, Hamilton, both the Ferrari drivers, and then the guy who won, who was the really young Italian guy. What's his name?
Yes. Oh, it was a silly name, and I don't remember.
Hold on.
He's like 19, isn't he?
Why can't I remember his name right now? This is terrible.
I only remembered fucking Max Verstoppin because someone has to Max Verstoppin is what Shayna, is the joke that Shayna made.
Funnier every time. Yep.
But they did an interview with those 3. Lewis Hamilton. So, side note, quick sidebar. Katy asked us to decide who we think is the hottest.
Antonelli. Duh. I'm sorry, F1 fans. Antonelli. It was Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli. Yeah.
They kept calling him Kimi. Yeah.
Yeah. You're very close with the first name of the Prime Minister of Israel. Oh, I thought you said BB.
PP? No way that's true. So they interviewed, they just talked about how they think they would do, and it was actually funny how humble all 3 of them were.
Well, Antonelli was less humble.
Someone asked Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, he's 19 years old, and boy does he look and sound like it. Oh yeah, he was just like kind of like he had this attitude of just like he wasn't arrogant. He kind of just had this attitude of like, I'm a little stinker and nothing can hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interestingly, Lewis Hamilton very quickly, noticeably, like, was brought back by
Ferrari. Yep.
Ferrari? Was it Ferrari? Yeah, you could tell he was like on his phone during the interview. He was just like, "Yeah, I gotta be here." And then they asked him how they thought he would do against Kimi, who qualified first, and he was like, "Well, he ran the track really good. He qualified first."
Yeah, he was like just very like kind of pessimistic, just kind of like, yeah, like he's not gonna do great against him. Because I think that's the thing is that like this is about almost exactly halfway through the season. This race, the British Grand Prix, and oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Hello. Halfway through the season, so like they're at the point where everyone kind of knows what car is the fastest, generally, or at least, especially at this point when they're actually doing the real race. They've done the qualifiers. They know like which car is the fastest on this track, particularly, probably at least, right? So like, there's kind of an assumption of like if one person like. If everyone like races at the top of their ability, there's going to be a car that wins, and it's going to be the Mercedes car. Like that was kind of the like the takeaway from those like early interviews.
Right. But we watched that, and then we got to watch some pregame. I don't remember what we really learned in the pregame, other than
They were talking about like the track and like it being very like historic. It's like and there was like literally a part of the track that is named after Lewis Hamilton. It's like Hamilton like Straight or something like that.
Wait,
oh yeah, because he's won like 10 times.
I thought it was just called Hamilton. You
Yeah,
know what? That makes sense because he's British. Also, going back a couple topics, Lewis Hamilton, hot man. He's got like hand tats. He's married to.
I think he might be
Kardashian
dating
or something. Jay-Z,
a Kardashian currently. I think.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think
so he's not something like that, but hot man. And obviously, all these people are fucking rich as shit because they're.
Yeah, we gotta answer who the hottest racer to us was, and that's Lewis Hamilton for you.
Lewis Hamilton.
See, I kind of think, Leclerc kind of has like an appeal.
That's crazy. He was handsome. Yeah, he was handsome. But Lewis, see, I like a tatted bitch, and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton like
cool.
is pretty like. I would say the rest of the racers kind of have a similar kind of like curly-haired European like vibe. Like a lot of them,
yeah,
I'd say like 70% of them. And Lewis Hamilton is one of the few that kind of like is not that type. Obviously Lewis Hamilton is black, and there's like not even like I think there's like in these races there's maybe like 3 or 4 POC racers, I believe.
Oh yeah, definitely. Predominantly
Yeah.
Caucasian.
So
Fucking
not doing great there, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna say Leclerc. Leclerc was the sexiest to me.
Did you get anything else from?
Well, not really.
pregame
That's why I was
that you
wanting to get
remember?
into just the actual race. The race, pretty fun to watch, honestly. Yeah.
Really exciting. Couple key things we noticed right away. The tire sizes were all labeled. So, they
Sam gets overwhelmed
something
once
I'm
per
actually
episode.
really into about like a lot of sports. All right. This is something I really like about like a lot of sports casting is that they're every season they get so much more clever with their like graphics. And like I've never watched racing, but their graphics were super cool, like and handy. Like so on the left side they keep the order of the fucking race the entire time, and then next to their names they also keep a little SM or L. No,
you're right.
What? Hard H, M, or S.
Oh yeah,
soft,
yeah,
medium, or hard. To just tell you which kind of tires they're driving with. Which would both Nate and I were like ooh, because we had talked about that. They all started with
No. They all started with
hard.
soft.
Right?
Because soft tires go the fastest because since they are not inflated all the way, they flatten more down to the road, which means more traction, which means they're going faster. But since there's more on the road and they're going real fast, they burn out and like get ripped up real quick. So you have to switch out of them. Like everyone switched out of their soft tires after the first pit stop, basically. They went to like they might have been on mediums to start. They definitely weren't on hards though. I think it might have been. I think some of them might have been on softs. I don't know.
But they all started on the same thing, and then notably towards the end of the race, they all switched to.
But some of them there was. I think there was someone who like. I think some people stayed on like they didn't go all the way to hard. They just went to medium or like. I think there were a few people that like there were everyone pit stopped once. At least, but most people pit stop twice. And some of the people that pit stop twice, on their second pit stop, they switched to the soft tires again for like the last like run.
Yeah, because we kind of thought they were trying to make up for like lost time. but it was really interesting. Like a lot happened. There were a lot of upsets.
Well,
One
let's go
guy's
in order.
car
Let's go in order.
was-
Let's
was,
go in order.
Kimi.
So at the beginning, we when everyone started off,
I don't remember any.
surprisingly, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, the two Ferrari guys, they kind of like overtook Antonelli, the guy that was gonna like win, and they were kind of speeding ahead of him, and they were like pretty, I don't know, like about 7 seconds ahead, which is like quite a bit. And they were, and so Leclerc was in front, and Hamilton was like basically right behind him, and they were kind of exchanging stuff a little bit, and then kind of like Sam was talking about the graphics on the left side. They at first were showing how what everyone's time was, as well as like their standing, and then as the race went on, it started showing they would occasionally change the time so that it said like how many seconds they were behind the leader, like the person in first. So you could see like how far behind like the person that was in like 20th was in time to the person that was in first. And it was like, like it got to like, I don't know, it got to like a minute. Yeah, like a minute or two. Yeah. There was like lapping happening. And then sometimes it would change so that it would show just the time they were behind the person directly in front of them. And so they kind of changed it so you could see like, when someone was like really gaining on someone right behind them, or if like you could see like, these people are like only 0.3 seconds behind each other, like so they're super super close. And it was crazy, like trying to figure out like I don't know, them trying to figure out when they were gonna pass people, because passing people is super dangerous. It's scary.
Yeah, and there was one example of that was fascinating. It was so Max Verstoppin, whatever the fuck, like notoriously, like Katie said, like aggressive driver. There was a whole lap almost where someone was trying to pass him. I don't remember. Oh, it was Lewis Hamilton was trying to pass him. And we're like watching the whole engagement, and you could see him try, and then Verstappen would like cut him off. And that happened like multiple times. It was really exciting.
Yep,
and
kind of for after like I don't know, the first maybe third of the race, Antonelli finally got ahead and was like pretty far ahead for a pretty long time. But then, about 2/3 of the way through the race, he started having some sort of issue with something going on with like his like the tire guard on the front of his car, or something involving the front of his car, and he had to like go in for like a pit stop unexpectedly, and they literally checked everything, and it seemed to be okay, and they just replaced all his shit, and they just let him go, and then he kind of kept driving, and he was like, no, I still feel like something's wrong, and it was crazy because we were like, that's the other crazy thing, is that they had like radio coming in of people's cars, like they were like, you could hear them talking to their team like on the actual broadcast, which was crazy. And there was like, nope, still feels wrong, like something feels off. And then they bring him, and he comes in from another pit stop. So at this point, pit stops, like the actual changing of the tires and stuff, average like 3 seconds or something. But then like to actually get off of the racetrack, get back on the racetrack, and have a pit stop, it's like 30 seconds. So he's already taking like a minute of time off. And he basically like they like replaced the whole front of his car. Do you remember that? Yeah, like the whole front frame or something. And then
the big chunk of the front.
Still like wasn't enough. It wasn't fixing it, and so
he was having
the power steering wasn't kicking in or something like that. I can't quite remember. But anyway, so like he's already so far ahead in the standings in like the entire series, like the entire season or whatever. He was like ahead by 18 points or something. So it was fine for him not to get any points, but he was like trying to like debate whether or not he should just keep driving to kind of try to get 20th so that he could get 1 point or something.
Yeah, noteworthy. The way that the series works, because I was learning about this during the race, and I think it's cool. They do like 20 races, or they do a whole bunch of races. And you get points on each race depending on
what place you are. Yep.
Place. Jesus, I couldn't remember the word. So he was just trying to finish the race to secure some points.
Like exactly like Mario Kart.
I think that's a fun way to
like
do
it's like Mario Kart.
Yeah. It is exactly like Mario Kart. Wow. I didn't put that together.
So if you do Mario Kart, you do F1.
Cool.
And yeah, like so that happened. Also, oh yeah, remember there was the thing with Lewis Hamilton in the beginning where he like started, he had like a false start or something, which like the announcers were like, that's not a false start. They're being too aggressive on that or something. And he had a 5-second penalty.
Yeah. Which this was interesting too, because we thought at first that the way that they added a time was just by adding it on to his total time. So like theoretically he could place second, but because of the 5-second penalty, he's actually third. But we learned, and this is I think is clever, when they go into the pit, they just make them sit there.
They just have the pit like wait for 5 seconds to start doing all the changes.
And I think that's a good.
Well, and then so that was exciting with Lewis Hamilton and then Antonelli. Antonelli then was like eventually by the end of the race he was out, so he didn't get any points for that race, I believe, right? And then the other big thing was coming back to Max Verstappen. What happened to him?
Oh, he was like driving too aggressively, and then he like totally crashed. Not like crash, but he flew off the road.
Yeah, he like spun out and like went into like the dirt and was like. He got out of his car and he was like swearing and he was just like fuck this car, like
he was like fuck this.
Yeah, he was very mad.
Yeah, he was,
and he was in like seventh or he was like in seventh or like sixth, something around there. And then he was just not even. He also got disqualified. So like the two of the top like 10 people, one of which was like the person predicted to win, like got completely out of the race, which was crazy.
It was fascinating. The results were way different than what we like would have expected.
Well, not to go. This is the last play-by-play, guys. I promise. But at the very, very end, there was going to be. They basically had a safety lap, which is a thing that they do when there's like people when there's like shit on the road or like some shit they need to clear off or something. Yeah, they have a safety lap, which still counts as a regular lap, but the way it works is all the cars like kind of line up behind the safety car. There's a guy who's like driving a safety car to like make sure all the people are doing the right stuff, which we also found out the safety car driver, same guy. It's one guy for all of the Grand Prix all around the world. It's one guy. It's like Lars something. I don't remember his name, but very funny. Like a former F1 driver that now just drives the safety car. But everyone lines up behind him. And also what's funny is that all the cars are weaving back and forth because they're trying to keep their tires hot because their tires, again, hot tires, more on the road, faster because they're kind of melting down into the road.
Yeah. So sometimes
but the rules are you can't like, you can get close to each other, but you can't like lap anybody or you're not lap anybody. You can't pass anybody. So everyone is like pretty far apart at that point because it was like near the end of the race. So for this, like, it was like the 51st lap was a safety lap and everyone was like really, really close. And so it was like if everyone was like, oh, well, if they do another lap, it's just going to be straight up racing where it's just going to be whoever gets ahead at the last second, It's going to be really, really exciting. But unfortunately, the race organizers decided, no, we're just going to make it a safety lap for the last lap as well. So everyone just kind of, like in line, single file went across the finish line. Yeah, the announcers were like, we don't know why they did that. That was really dumb and boring. Like, we thought we were going to get some racing, and we didn't.
Which I will say, that would frustrate the shit out of me if I was, like, doing really well and had a good lead, and then there was some sort of accident that made us had to do that, and suddenly everyone's right fucking behind me.
I'd be pissed, but I'd also be like, respect the game. I'd be like, that's awesome. Like, what a fun thing for people that are watching.
It seems a little unfair, though. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, that's like when you're doing a race like this, like with cars that are going this fast, like they're going like 240 miles an hour, or some insanity. Like you have to have like safety things, and people have to make decisions on that on the fly. So like, I don't know. I think it's just kind of part of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the alternative would be,
but and yeah, like we were just watching some of the videos of them driving, and it was just very fast and scary, and yeah, it was much more exciting to watch than I thought it was going to be. Maybe we'll have someone on the show in the future talking about NASCAR, but NASCAR I found much less exciting to watch than this. I don't know.
I've never actually.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone, if I'm wrong, come on our podcast and tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, F1 is like with all the different tracks and stuff, and like it seems like there's a lot more technicality to it, so that it does seem to me like it would be more exciting. but
I don't
never
know.
really delved in on NASCAR, so who knows?
Yeah.
Another fun detail. We were like researching this during the fucking race because it was cool. Every time they go on a turn, you'll see their spoilers flap, and we were like, "What the fuck is going on there?" Turns out they have like a button or a paddle on their wheel that engages or disengages the spoiler, so they can basically let air pass through or not. And they'll turn on the spoiler on turns so that the fucking air hits the spoiler and it pushes the back of the car down harder so that they get more
Yeah, and then
traction
when they're
and
going
can take the
straight, they'll put it
turns
back
faster.
down, and then it's like
And then
you're opening the
Yes.
shades on your window, and so the air is rushing through, and they can go like faster
Yeah.
straight.
And I thought that was so clever that they could just like engage and disengage. It's probably like a no-brainer to them, but I was like,
No,
"God
there's-
damn, that's just like fucking a slick.
Yeah, like just like
small
so many of these
detail
other
to be more
obsessions and
speed."
stuff. There's so much more to this than we thought initially. And yeah, even though well let's I'll save that for a second. Now it's time for our favorite segment. Rachel get real. Rachel get real.
It's time for Rachel to get real. Rachel,
This is where-
get a job.
This is where we break it down. We break down the hobby. We figure out what all of our final thoughts on this are. The first part of Rachel Get Real is fun factor. Just kidding. Why are we kidding?
Because all obsessions are fun, except for the ones that we wouldn't bring on this podcast that are unhealthy.
Yeah, we're not gonna rate your obsession and tell you that, like, I don't know, your stamp collecting is a fucking 2 out of 10. No way, man. Nice try.
To you, it's always going to be a 10 out of 10, and it should be.
That's right. So, first part of Rachel Get Real. Can you, Rachel? How accessible is this hobby? Is there money involved? Is there learning? How hard is it to get into? What do you think, Sam?
Definitely no money. Well, actually, no, that's a fucking lie. You do have to get a subscription to like a channel or something.
Well, you pretty much have to get Apple TV, like straight up, like specifically Apple TV, actually.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
that's how much does that do? Like 15 a month?
Just steal it from your mom, like the rest of us.
You do have to have some sort of TV streaming subscription. Steal it from
Or if
your
anyone
mom
wants,
or
if
from your
anyone
ex.
wants my
do what you
my
do.
ex's mom's password, just shoot me a DM.
Or my mom.
Yeah, we have lots of moms with lots of Apple TV.
Anyway,
Yeah, super inexpensive,
It's
I would
not-
say, except for like Apple TV. But like, I don't know, you can just, I don't know, just do something illegal and get it or something. I don't know.
steal it.
Not that expensive in comparison to other like hobbies we've been talking about. And you can always watch recaps and like, yeah,
That's true. At least for like to start. Yeah. I'm sure you can find things online too. It's not it's a learning curve. I mean, just to watch it, there's no actual learning curve. Like you can just look at it and be like, "Oh, cars go fast. That one's in first." And they kind of
yeah.
explain
I would say
things
for
as
the
you
most part,
go.
yeah. I think
It's like
I would say for this to get into it, it's good to whenever there's something you don't understand that they're talking about, immediately Google it. Because there's going to be some interesting answer to it. Like we did that so much, and there were so many little things. Or we were like texting Katie during it, and she was telling us some stuff. Like, yeah, like it's definitely not hard to learn. You just gotta you hello. You just kind of have to, like, if you hear something you don't know about, or you see something you're just like, why are they doing that? Then just look it up because it's really interesting, and you'll kind of like appreciate more and more of it.
And I think that's the case with actually most things, but sports especially, is that you will generally find them more enjoyable if you understand the strategies that are like being employed. And if you just know more about what's going on. And I think some games it's easier to see that than others. Because this is so like mechanical and technical, I think so many of the strategies are
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
visible. So I think, yeah, definitely knowing more will help you enjoy it more. But as far as like accessibility to it, you don't have to know anything other
Yeah, just
than
watch a
how
Grand Prix.
race
Just get in
works.
there. Watch some pre stuff, whatever. So our next question, why to Rachel? What makes this worth getting into? Why would they Rachel for this? I think,
Cars, cool.
cars are just really, really, really cool.
Cars go fast. Vroom.
Well, and I'm not even like a car person. Like I never had like a car phase as a kid. Like I was never like, oh, I really love the Ford 1985 Explorer or some shit. You know what I mean? But this was just like they're just going so fast that you just get excited.
Oh, so I'll say this too, and I'll say this about any sport, and I'll always say this to any fucking theater kid who's like, I do arts. I don't like sports because you're a fucking nerd. And I'm glad
Sam, apologize for calling them a fucking nerd.
Out as like an archetype is like.
Sam, you said it really disparagingly.
Well, if you dislike things because you feel like you should, I'm sorry.
Shots fired,
you're a
bang,
fucking nerd. Try things out. Here's my point, though, is sports are good drama. And if you think you can't get into any competitive thing because you're not a sportsy person, then you're being silly. And sports are good drama. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, you just gotta learn enough about it to kind
drama.
of get invested in it. And some of the stories, like we did with Katy and all the people that we kind of had ideas of their personalities going in to kind of invest in it. And I think what makes this worth getting into, I think again, similar to wrestling and all of that, is I think it's really fun to have a hobby or obsession that involves watching something together with people in a group that is not so involved that you can't talk during it, and you can just like sit back, relax, like drink some coffee and donuts, or have a beer, or like or just like or you're just like at a bar, you have like
exciting,
some wings or something. You order pizza, like and it's something like you can kind of passively watch and still get really, really excited about when something happens, but like it's not a huge deal if you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom for a second, or like, oh, like how's your you're talking to someone, and you're like, oh yeah, so how'd that trip go you went on or something while the race is happening. Like I think that's just very fun. It's very soothing, I think.
It's also, when it comes to, this is maybe a topic for sports as like a greater whole, or like a comment on, but like it is fun to feel like you're part of the zeitgeist, and like you are seeing events as they unfold to like talk to somebody about the next day or something, which I think with F1 might be a little bit more difficult if you live in the United States, because not a lot of people watch F1, at least in the States. But like with the World Cup recently, like keeping up with that's fun because everyone knows about it, and everyone's gonna, oh, you just see what Holland did the other day, like, oh shit,
yeah,
fucking Belgium went crazy. Like that's fun, and it's a way to connect with people, and it can be fun. I do have to go back another topic or two because there's something I forgot to mention. No, this is real. The Can You, Rachel? These races happen in other countries, and if you're not an early morning person, it's gonna be difficult.
Sorry, one of our guests was texting me. That's what those notifications were.
That was
one of our guests was texting me about some planning of things later. But I do agree. Like it is an early morning thing, unfortunately, for like most of these races. So, but like I don't know, y'all got up and watched the royal wedding. This is that. Well, I did.
This is way more exciting to me than a royal wedding.
Don't you talk about my queen like that? Not Kate Middleton.
worth mentioning though, because for me, getting up at 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday, any Sunday, but let alone the Sunday.
Yeah, but kind of a fun thing to kind of just sip coffee hungover and watch a F1 race. That was kind of great.
It was.
I wasn't hungover. Sam was.
It was fun until like you guys left, and then I
well, you were sick kind of previously also, were you not? Maybe? I don't remember. Anyway.
Was I?
So,
not that I'm aware of.
Next, who is Rachel? What did we learn about ourselves? Ooh.
What did we learn about ourselves?
I think like I said, like I just love doing stuff with people, and being invested in something with a group of people is really, really great. And it's fun when you can like kind of, when you kind of get really, really excited at one point. We're just like, oh my God, this is happening. Or like, oh my God. Like Max Verstoppin like turned. Oh my God, that's crazy. Like that energy is just really, I feel like it's good for you.
Yeah, it's like community building. Agreed. And yeah, I do like that. There is like a uniqueness to those of you who don't watch a lot of sports. There is a unique vibing element to having a game on and just hanging with your homies, because it's like Nate said, it's just easy watching. I feel I for one, as an ADHD anxious
Yeah.
boy, like having an activity, and it's a good activity to have that doesn't require
It, yeah, and it's just
100%
like,
focus.
and
So it's very relaxing.
I think the other thing I learned is just I like car racing. I did not think I was gonna like this. I did not think I was gonna be into this at all.
car racing is cool. Because I had a buddy I grew up with.
That's how most
when
of
I
us
was,
grow
like,
up, even.
A kid, who was really into NASCAR. And I also thought that racing would be a little bit more boring. I never really considered F1 as much, but like, especially like passing, I'm always like, well, they can't hit each other, so like, what's so exciting about that? Like, one guy gets in front of another, like, you can't stop him. But I mean, you can, and it's like hard, and there's a lot more strategy to it than that. So I guess what I've learned about myself, I think this is something I've been gradually learning about myself more and more lately, is that I just really like watching sports.
Wow.
So I guess I was addressing myself earlier. Isn't that just the way?
The meaning of Christmas was you all along.
The
Formula
meaning
One.
of Formula One. What did you ever
Last question, will we, Rachel? Will we do it again? Are we gonna do it again, Sam? And as always, I will add in the special disclaimer for Sam. Please say yes.
If someone invited me,
Guys, we'll get him next time, maybe.
so first of all, very hard for me to get up this early. Second of all, I have trouble being into things if I don't have any friends that are into them. And there are very few.
Well, you
people
have
I know
two.
that would be into F1. I'd have like Katy. That's true.
And as always, guys, you know I'm gonna do it again. You know I'm gonna do it again. Here's the thing. I think I will actually. All jokes aside, I think I can see myself, like, maybe not every Grand Prix, but like, especially like the first one of the season, or like if the season, if I kind of casually am looking at the season and it's like pretty close or something, I could totally see myself getting up and being like, I'm going to watch an F1 race this weekend. Like, I have nothing to do on Sunday, or like I don't have anything to do until like 10. I'm going to just throw it on, and I can just sip coffee, be in like in my jammies on my couch. It's like nice and quiet in the morning. The dew is on the grass, and I'm just watching some racing, and like, I don't know, I make some eggs for myself. It sounds like a really nice, lovely little start to the morning.
It does. I would love to do that, but I know for a fact if I got up, if my alarm went off at 6:30, I would be like, no, fuck that, and I would go right back to sleep.
Sam, I
know
believe in you.
And
I don't think we are
lovely.
fixed as people. I think you could be the change you want to see, and I think you can get up early in the morning and watch an F1 race and have a great time.
If I was doing it because you were coming over, yes. But if I was doing it just because I wanted to, there's no way. And I'm not saying I wouldn't want to. It's because I'm ADHD. Getting out of bed is hard. This is real.
Listen, guys, and that's our final reminder to you. With this is, even though it's hard to get out of bed, you got to get up and watch those F1 races, guys. They're so fun.
I did actually wake up at 5 a.m. once when a new video game I really wanted to play dropped, and I wanted to play it before work. But that's like my number one interest, and it was like a game I was really waiting for. So it'd have to be something that I would like. I just am like crazy about.
Well, thanks, guys. That concludes our episode on F1 racing. Thanks so much to Katy. Yeah. Oh my God. What a great time. Thanks, Katy and Hayes. Sorry we couldn't get Sam into it. We really tried. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Show Me to Us, Rachel. We got all kinds of new fun things this season. We got some crazy topics in store and some crazy things we're going to be trying. Yeah, Sam is racing around his room. Okay, guys. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Goodbye. And we just wanted to say thank you to our editor, Jacob Cantrip. We love you so much. Thank you to our Rachel of the Week for just, showing us the thing you love. And make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's at ShowMeToUsRachel on Instagram. And you can follow us on any podcast thing you're listening to us on. Following is really, 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 really sick. So please do it. Sam, you got anything?
These are what cars sound like.
Show me to us, Rachel.
Ow!